When Hugh Jackman and Deborra-Lee Furness announced their breakup after 27 years of marriage, many of our besties asked us to peel back the layers of their relationship because, as you know, no one can make a video like RRG. I know that's right. Through our research, we discovered that, just like most of the couples featured in our red flag videos, Hugh and Deborra's romance was a hot, stankin' mess from the start. If you're one of those people who keeps begging us to stop singing in our videos, honey, build a bridge and get over it. Because everybody's talking all this stuff about us. Why don't they just let us sing? Tell me why. We don't need permission, make our own decisions. Oh, that's our prerogative. It's our prerogative. It's the way that I want. But for the rest of y'all who love and support us unconditionally, you're gonna need something to munch on for this one. So head over to rrgsnacks.com, our online concession stand that has an assortment of beef and bacon jerky, watermelon licorice, and butter toffee peanuts. To better understand why their marriage was doomed, we have to take you back to Hugh's childhood. Why? Because studies have shown that a person's childhood and upbringing play a role in how they navigate life as an adult. Hugh Michael Jackman was born in Sydney, Australia on October 12, 1968. After his birth, his mom was hospitalized for postpartum depression. In addition to Hugh, she had 4 more children, and her condition worsened. Because most of her family was in her homeland of England, she didn't have a strong support system in Australia. At the age of 8, his mom suddenly left. Years later, Hugh can still remember that day. She had a towel wrapped around her head, and she said goodbye to Hugh and his siblings as they left for school. Hugh said he could tell something was wrong by the tone of her voice. When he got back home from school, she was gone. Hugh told Australia's Women's Weekly magazine that the day after she left, she sent a telegraph message to explain that she was in England. In an interview with 60 Minutes, Hugh said, "I don't think she thought for a second it would be forever. I think she thought it was, I just need to get away and I'll come back." Every day since then, he firmly believed she would return. But as the days passed, he became increasingly uncomfortable with his new reality. He was terrified people would treat him differently if they found out his mom had walked out on him. He said, "One of the main things I remember is that horrible feeling that people were talking about you and looking at you because it was odd for the mother to leave." He thought his parents would get back together and everything would be fine again, up until he reached the age of about 12 or 13. That's when he realized she was never coming back. His parents divorced, his 2 sisters went to live with their mom in England, and Hugh and his 2 brothers stayed with their dad in Australia. Hugh credits his dad for being his rock and instilling him with positive traits such as loyalty and dependability. Although Hugh never believed his mother didn't love him, the psychological effects of her absence became embedded in his subconscious mind. According to learningmind.com, absent mothers have long-term imprints on growing children that can affect the child's adult relationships. The absence can also lead to the child having heightened stress levels, increased depression, and social anxiety. Another online source stated men who grew up without mothers may find that they gravitate towards relationships with much older women. Why? Because in some instances, these men are searching for the mother figure they lacked during their upbringing. As a teen, Hugh would frequent dance parties with his friends. He told MTV that the parties consisted of about 80% gay men. Say what now? And about 18% of the partygoers were heterosexual girls who were sick of straight guys hitting on them. So they would attend predominantly gay functions so they could have a good time without guys hounding them. Now that's smart as hell. Hugh said he and his friends would stay at the parties until 2 in the morning when the girls were really wasted. He then described himself as a vulture and a leech when it came to chasing girls. He became interested in theater, and after graduating from college with a degree in journalism, he attended drama school. At the age of 26, Hugh landed a role on an Australian TV series, and that's where he met 39-year-old Deborra, who was a big star at the time. He told People magazine he got picked up in a vehicle to head to the set, and Deborah was in the front seat. She took off her seatbelt, turned around, and introduced herself. And Hugh's body started percolating immediately. It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. As for making the first move, he froze up like Mitch McConnell. He told People magazine that first he ignored her for a week. Then he got closer to her, and they became friends. It took him about 6 weeks to work up the nerve to ask her if she wanted to attend a dinner party at his house. 6 weeks? Child, I would have been gone. While at his house, they confessed their feelings for each other. Despite their age difference, Hugh told People magazine that he was the adult in their relationship and Deborah was like a little kid. At her big age. After 3 weeks of dating, she tried to dump him. Now say what now? He told Aussies in Hollywood podcast that thankfully he talked her out of it and she changed her mind. Was Deborah's gut trying to warn her about something? Baby, that was women's intuition. You hear me? Hugh describes himself as the most indecisive person, but when it came to Deborah, he was 100% certain she was the one. Well, all right now. He told Town and Country magazine he wanted to wait 6 months before he proposed because he didn't want to come on too strong and make a fool of himself. That's smart. But after 4 months of dating, he said, "Meet me at the altar in your white dress. We ain't getting no younger, so we might as well do it. Let's get married." He bought a rose gold engagement ring. I don't know about that rose gold, Hugh. Headed out to a park and covered a table with a bunch of flowers. When Deborah arrived, he popped the question, and she said yes. Now, remember how we mentioned that some men with absent mothers gravitate toward older women? Well, Hugh's own father wondered if Hugh was using Deborah to fill a void. Hugh told Oprah, "When I announced we were getting married, my dad said, 'Is this a maternal thing?' I just laughed. I said, 'Dad, when you get to know Deb a little better, you'll see it's more of a paternal thing.'" I don't know. I think your daddy was on to something. They got married in April 1996 after 11 months of dating. Because Deborah had been in the industry for a while, she saw a lot of relationships fall apart. She didn't want the same to happen to her and Hugh, so she decided they would never spend more than 2 weeks away from each other to keep their connection intact. They struggled with infertility, so they moved forward with adoption. At the time, the adoption process took about 5 to 10 years in Australia, so they went through the process in the US and adopted a baby boy in 2000 and a baby girl in 2005. After appearing in the first X-Men film, several rumors about Hugh and his marriage hit the press. When asked by MTV what the 3 biggest rumors about him were, Hugh answered, "Gay, gay, and gay." Come again now. Hugh referenced his 2003 role as the gay Australian musician Peter Allen in the musical The Boy from Oz. According to Hugh, the rumors about his sexuality started to ramp up after he had to kiss his male co-star on stage. However, he was reluctant to refute the allegations because he believed it encouraged a derogatory view of homosexuality. If it ain't true, just say it ain't true. And then he gave some information to People magazine that shocked everyone. Hugh discussed a mysterious ring he was often seen wearing. A ring? He explained the piece of jewelry was given to him by his assistant turned business partner, John Palmero, after they launched their production company. It was later revealed that Deborah received a matching ring from John as well. Now wait a minute, that's just weird as hell. In 2008, People magazine crowned him the sexiest man alive. The celebration didn't last long though. Online sources dug up his old interviews, where he revealed he attended gay parties in his younger years. In response, Hugh stated the constant rumors about his sexuality were starting to bother his wife. In an interview, Hugh stated Deborah was in a public restroom when she overheard someone saying, "Is he gay or isn't he gay?" He's married. I don't know. Who cares? I'm sure he's gay. Is he gay or isn't he gay? I'm sure he's gay. He's married. Hugh said one time Deborah yelled out from inside her stall, "He's not gay. I'm telling you, he's not." Did that quiet the haters? Hell no. Do y'all remember Ted Casablanca? Back in the day, he ran a column on E! Online called The Awful Truth. Well, in December 2008, instead of posting a blind item, Ted came out swinging. What'd he say, girl? Ted started out by questioning the presence of Hugh's business partner, John, who, by the way, was about 10 years younger than Hugh. Ted was puzzled by their friendship, especially since John was third-wheeling it with Hugh and Deborah all over the world. And Ted revealed John was also living with the Jackmans. I know you lying. In 2010, his business relationship with John fell apart. They dissolved their production company, which had produced several X-Men films. John stated they would finish the projects they had lined up, and after that, he would start his own company. But John's career went down the toilet without Hugh in his corner. Somebody pass me some toilet paper. In October 2013, John took to his Facebook to post some interesting messages. In response to Julie Chen undergoing eye surgery to land a job in the U.S., John wrote, "Now that her eyes are finally open, she can finally leave her husband." No, he didn't. And then, in response to Kim Kardashian and Kanye West purchasing a house in Bel Air, John wrote, "There goes the neighborhood. It looks like a poor Persian palace. Where's Kris Jenner when you need her? Hashtag money can't buy a dumb ninja class." I know you lying. And then, while responding to a post about Anderson Cooper attending the opening of his boyfriend's bar in New York, John wrote, "Hashtag smells like lube and HIV." Now he need his whole ass kicked. John didn't apologize for his remarks. Instead, he told The Hollywood Reporter, "I stopped caring about what Hollywood thinks of me years ago. I've got nothing to lose, nothing to gain. I'm a bored dude, unemployed, sitting at home in the valley." Unemployed? You ain't got no job. So when he was on good terms with Hugh, he was traveling the world with him and Deborra, shacking up on their property, and he was the co-founder of a successful production company. Without Hugh, John's life collapsed faster than Joe Biden when he fell down on them people's stage. Lord help me, Jesus, I'm falling. Oh, Lord. But with John out of his life, surely the rumors about Hugh's preference would cool off, right? Hell no. Well, not quite. In 2013, Hugh told The Hollywood Reporter that the speculation was still bothering his wife, and she was finding it more challenging to push the rumors aside. That same year, Deborra told 60 Minutes that she was sick and tired of people talking about her man. She also called the rumors offensive. She added, "If he was gay, fine. He would say he's gay. It's annoying because it's not true." As Hugh's status as a sex symbol continued to climb, people wondered what he saw in her old ass. His mama, that's what he saw. His mama, he saw his mama. To keep their relationship stronger than ever, they continued with their rule of not spending more than 2 weeks apart. Deborra also gave Hugh's agent another rule. He wasn't allowed to work on any projects with Angelina Jolie. I know that's right. Now let's fast forward to 2020. During a 2020 appearance on an Australian TV show, Deborra revealed she was still fed up with the tabloids spreading rumors about Hugh's sexuality. Girl, get out of that in. In 2021, they celebrated their 25th wedding anniversary. In an Instagram post, Hugh wrote, "Being married to you, Deb, is as natural as breathing. From nearly the moment we met, I knew our destiny was to be together." However, there was some major drama brewing behind the scenes. That same year, sources reported the couple's relationship was strained due to the COVID pandemic. Apparently, the lockdown adversely affected their dynamic. In other words, they couldn't stand spending extensive amounts of time together. No, Deborra, what happened to the 2-week rule, girl? And then in September 2021, Hugh announced his beloved father passed away. In an Instagram post, Hugh stated that while there was a deep sadness in his heart, he was filled with gratitude and love. He wasn't being completely honest, though. The loss of his dad left him devastated to the point that it brought up old, unresolved issues from his childhood. Hugh told Who magazine that he turned to therapy, not only to cope with grief, but to deal with past childhood trauma. Although he had reconciled with his mom in recent years and spent time with her about 4 times per year, he still struggled with abandonment issues. An insider told the website he's carried that weight with him to this day, and it's finally worn him down to the point where he decided he needed professional help. And then the most recent writer's strike presented issues for his marriage as well. Since Hugh was unable to work, they were spending more time together, and a source told Radar Online that their relationship suffered. In September 2023, the couple announced in a joint statement that they were separating after 27 years of marriage. Their statement read, "Our journey now is shifting, and we have decided to separate to pursue our individual growth." While some sources stated Hugh was happy to move on, other insiders told Radar Online that wasn't the case. An insider told the website that Deborra was his entire world, and he felt utterly lost without her. The actor was also allegedly worried that Deborra would want a huge chunk of his fortune, although he was hoping their divorce would be amicable. So what the hell happened? We're unsure. However, an insider told Us Weekly in October 2023 that Hugh was working on a memoir. The insider went on to say that Hugh was finally ready to be honest with himself. Ooh, what that mean? In addition to discussing the real reason he and Deborra are moving forward with getting divorced, insiders have promised there will be big bombshells within the pages of his memoir. Child, is Hugh about to come clean about what everyone has been suspecting for decades? We'll have to wait and see. Are we the only ones who aren't surprised that Hugh and Deborra are going their separate ways? Let us know down below. And thanks for watching RRG.